Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV, and we're here for the Hot Off the Press show, your weekly football news show, just covering all things on football at the minute. I've got Chris from Leicester Till I Die. How are you, my friend?
All right, mate. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm wishing the international break can carry on. It's more like relief mentally. So
Don't start me, mate. I was just relaxing then to your new theme music. I was getting into it then, you know, and then you had to go and mention the. I'd honest with you, I do a thing for the BBC every Tuesday on the Leicester homepage on the website, and they wouldn't publish it this week because I wrote about England and not about Leicester. Apparently, it had to be about Leicester, but I wrote that who gained what from that 10-0 winning? Apart from Kane equaled Lineker in the goal scoring, but it's still got to do it for
I don't remember Gary Lineker stat padded against an accountant, a bunch of accountants or bankers or something like
that. It was just, I kind of, when I was writing it, I knew I sounded like, and no disrespect to any of the fans, but like I was, running in the SL club. I'm saying they shouldn't have those guys in. They should have their own. I mean, I just think for me, chuck all the balls into one pot and pull them out. And if Holland get Germany and I think it was 1978 or 79. I think it was 78 when we had to go to Italy under Glenn Hoddle and get something in Italy to qualify. I think we got a 0-0 draw. I remember Paul Ince had the bandages around his head, was dripping blood. That was more exciting, that 0-0, than that 10-1. 10-0, I mean, sorry, the other night. It was just a waste of time. And I'm sorry, San Marino guys and everybody says, don't stop us having the chance to play these big teams. But you look at every group, San Marino, Gibraltar, Azerbaijan, they're never going to qualify.
Yeah, have you heard, you've seen, how Arsenal fans are getting up about the fact that Odegaard stat padded against Gibraltar, and now all of a sudden he's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like, I never knew, Gibraltar meant, stat padding against Gibraltar meant you're really good for Arsenal. You know what I mean? It's just,
this is it. It doesn't prove anything, and, why play Kane when you play in San Marino? Well, we know why he wanted to play, obviously, but it's just I would love to see. What I enjoyed about the Euros was you're regretting asking me this now, aren't you? But what I enjoyed about the Euros,
I was going to come on to this anyway. It's we're talking about obviously international break, but I'll go.
But no, I enjoyed the fact that North Macedonia were there.
Yeah, that's the point. The underdogs being at the Euros, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
it's not. But that doesn't what makes them money. They want
no, it doesn't
the
exactly.
big finals, so of course, unless it's England, then they don't want us there at all.
No. And sometimes they don't want England there. I can remember them days. But now, Gibraltar playing Hungary isn't going to get the same viewing figures as Spain versus Germany. We know that, and it works in the leagues. It works internationally. But you've got to aspire to have dreams. This is what was, the downfall of the ESL. There was no way through for other clubs to come in and do it. And
no promotion or relegation. They just thought they had a God-given right to it. Yeah.
What does San Marino think? Every time they're drawn out, whether it's for the Euros or for the World Cup, and they look at that and think, why? What is the point?
It's just look at it. No, they're looking at it where are we even going? We might concede 2 there, 3 there, 5 there, and 10 there. Where are we going to score a goal?
I think in their history of San Marino existing as a FIFA nation, I think they've got 1 point.
Yeah, I'm just going to literally have a look at their San Marino football team and have a look at their record, which should be on Wikipedia, something like that. You never know, it might be on there. FIFA competitive record. So yeah, FIFA World Cup record, qualification record. They've played 94, played 10, drawn 1, lost 9. Like 98, draw 0, lost 8. They haven't ever won a game in any of the qualification rounds whatsoever. Like they've had 1, 2, 3 draws in like the whole times they've existed as since 94.
Well, 3 draws have they had,
92.
sorry.
Since 92, which I think is the first time they were submitted into the qualification rounds, they've had 3 draws. That is it. They've had 300 goals against 340. They've had 650 goals against them. And people telling me like, and Gibraltar's the same. There's another team like them, and you're telling me I should believe Odegaard's any good because he got a hat trick of assists against them.
Come on, somebody tell me. I mean, that's our biggest win since whenever 60 odd.
I never watched it. I didn't bother watching it.
I didn't. I got to be honest with you. I didn't watch because that's on the show after the Andorra game, and it was on, but I didn't watch it. You know, and with this one, I was on another show, so I didn't watch the first half. I tuned in at about 75 minutes. As I'm writing my blog, I'm saying, "Oh, we're already 6-0 up." Like 2 paragraphs later, it's 7 now. But if you look, like let's go through the all the European World Cup groups, right? Group 1, Azerbaijan 1 point. Group 2, all right, Kosovo got 5 points, but Lithuania 3 points, Kazakhstan 3 points, Belarus 3 points, Moldova 1 point. Gibraltar, no points. Malta, 5 points. San Marino, no points. Liechtenstein, 1 point. Seriously, give them and teams like that their own groups, and then we are going to see different teams. I can remember East Germany being in the World Cup final. I can remember Austria. And, these aren't even small teams like these, but they very rarely get through. Peru, South America. And it was great to see these different... El Salvador. Most people have said, where the hell's El Salvador? I can remember them being in the World Cup. And it was great to see teams like that competing. It really was. But, like you said, they're not going to generate the money, are they?
Oh, I just had to change my hashtag. Hashtag
Indeed.
Sorry, that's a different topic. I'm gonna leave that one out there.
Sounds it.
If you want to use it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah. I mean, obviously, I was speaking. I'm going to speak about it more on another show at another time about Saka and Smith Rowe. And that's the thing is like when I'm watching that game and I'm seeing like 10-1, I'm like, our boys like Smith Rowe, and my club, as much as I love England, my club comes first, for me. And
I think, to be honest with you, for 75% of people, it does.
Yeah, and I don't blame him since we ain't won a World Cup since '66, so I can't blame him. So so for me, it's like why is Saka wasted more of his energy when he needs a rest? He could have done that international break. So why don't you play the kids? You're playing Albania and San Marino.
Yeah.
Like, use the under-21 squad, for example. Like, you know what I mean? So
I was just looking at the squad then, and you
even the under-21 squad would have battered them.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he made a few changes, but like you say, Kane would have been knocking on his door. Excuse my French, sucking his dick to be able to play because he knows he's going to get a bag full of gold. Please let me play, boss. Please, I can get a record. But there's players there that were starting that
I was
you
going to
know.
say something else to that. It's incredibly rude, but I wouldn't say it. It's to say he dribbles a lot as well.
Too much. Although I did lead you into it. No, I mean,
You
Maguire
started it.
and
Yeah.
Chilwell. I mean, you know what these players. You're not going to. Let's be honest with you. You could put, and no disrespect to them. This is going to sound awful, but you could put sort of. I mean, Leicester women haven't won a game in the Women's Premier League this season. They could have gone out and beaten that side. You know, I just, and then they're going to come back, and they're either going to have caught COVID, or they'll have a twinge or a tweak that puts them out. You know, the games we've got at the weekend. The same with playing too many games as it is, then you've got stupid, meaningless games like that.
So I'll put this question out to you then. Would you rather do what Wenger wants, which is a World Cup every 2 years, and cut out these games?
No. If you have a World Cup every 2 years, surely you're going to have more games, aren't you?
Yeah, because the idea for me then is you've got to qualify for that. Because this is the whole point. You're playing these teams to qualify for the tournament.
Yeah.
So if you're having a World Cup every year, every 2 years, you're wanting to qualify. But then what happens to the European Championships? What happens to that?
Yeah. You can't.
You know what I mean? So
you know, it's people. To be honest with you, it's going to get to a point where you get overkill. You know, I can remember when Sky first got football, it was like, wow. And I can remember sat there watching, you know, every game that was on. I'd watched Liverpool. I can remember the 4-3s between Liverpool and Newcastle and all of those. And then there's so much football on these days and so much meaningless football on that I say, I could never imagine myself not watching an England World Cup qualifying game. But I didn't. I've stopped watching it because literally they are meaningless and I've got better things to do.
mm-hmm.
You know, talking of which,
better late than never. Lucas turned up.
All right, Luca.
Big up. You know, mate, sorry about that.
You'll be late. You'll be late if you don't funeral.
He was on Ollie's bus, that's why he's late.
Yeah. Wow. Speaking of Ollie, like, I know we're not Man United fans, and if there are any Man United fans in the chat and want to come on, do let us know. Big up Lookman as well in the chat. But speaking of Ollie, how the hell has this guy not been sacked yet? I don't know. Like, if you're worse than Arteta, and even Ollie fans are saying that, like, and
is he worse than Arteta?
He is.
I mean, you've got to look at
that side should be challenging for a league, and it's below Arsenal, for God's sake. Come on.
Yeah, but he got Man United Champions League this season. Arteta didn't even get you in Europe, in fairness.
But now Arteta's sitting there in 5th and 4th, or he's sitting there with Ronaldo in 8th or 9th.
And did I not tell you last season? Give it time. It's going to come back.
No, don't start this.
No, I'm not going down. I haven't got a card written or anything for you this time. But you know, it's like I told you, you sometimes do have a bad season or two. Liverpool have 30 of them. Man United, you know, the problem with Man United is a lot of the fans don't remember Man United pre-Fergie. You know, there was a Man United pre-Fergie, and it wasn't that good. And you kind of back to that now. But you know, Ollie's still. He got you to second. He got them second 1 year. He got them fourth the year before when they knocked us out at the last minute. Second last year. He got them to a European final. Although I don't agree with them being in that final. So he hasn't won anything. I grant you, but he's getting them that far. And Man United have got to accept that they're not going to have that level of success that they had under Fergie again. They had their period. It's like Liverpool haven't got the level of success that they had under Shankly, Paisley, and all the other managers when they ruled Europe. So it does come round in circles, and he's not. I don't think he's the manager for them. I'm going to say that, but I think he's done the job, and they shouldn't have given him that job while he was sort of still on a temporary contract.
Are you saying that he's done the job to get him in the position that he needs to fight for a title, but now they need the manager to get into the next level to go and do it.
Eddie Howe at Newcastle. He's not a long-term appointment.
Then you say
he's
Eddie Howe
there.
straight after. Then you literally say Eddie Howe straight after.
Yeah, but he's there to keep them up, to give them some stability for a couple of seasons.
I understand.
He's not going to win them the Europe. And I like Eddie Howe. I'm live in Bournemouth, you know, and I followed him, and he's an amazing guy, lovely guy, and a really good manager. But he's not, I don't think, going to bring them the trophies. By Luca, where you know, I think he's the manager there for a couple of years. He'll take a 6 million, 7 million payoff in a couple of years when they want to bring a big name in, but he will give them that. And it's the same with Ollie. That was what Ollie's job was, to come in after Mourinho and kind of settle things down, get the team back on side, get them into the top 6, and he did all of that. But he's not the, you know, maybe not the guy to go on, but, you know, there we go. And that's why I don't think Brendan is either.
Are you just saying that just he doesn't want them to go?
No, in fairness, let's have a look at it. He's an ex-Liverpool manager.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And a lot of Man United fans don't want him for that.
Yeah.
But is he, and in fair, I mean, he's our manager. What he will bring success-wise to Leicester, we will be very, very happy with.
For Man United, it's a different level,
Exactly. You know, and I don't think, let's be honest with you, you know, 2 years running, Ollie has finished above him. So are they going to go for a manager that finishes below them? They wanted a Conte or somebody like that. So I think with all that in focus, I think, hey mate, I don't think he's the man for them. I bought the Leicester bog roll today. Soft on the bum and goes down quicker after a flush. Yeah, mate. Enjoy it. You. To be honest with you, you took it off us for a couple of seasons, so it's fair enough. Have a go. This is our what Arsenal did last season. We're doing this season. It's kind of a reality check season for us, this, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Luca, what do you make of the situation still at Man United? I mean, it's still farcical, and I think I'm loving it. I don't know why I'm raising this question. This guy is such a brilliant manager. Like, he should be staying on a permanent contract. Like, sign it for 100 years.
To be honest, right, I think, in my opinion, right, I feel with Manchester United, yes, it's really good that Solskjaer is actually not doing very well at the moment. But we need to not get too carried ourselves, because we've got to play him at Old Trafford at the end of the month. And like, we've been bantering them at the moment, and we've got Liverpool this weekend.
Luke, you're a bit far away from the camera, mate. You're a bit far away from the microphone, mate.
Talking about Solskjaer, oh, very funny, mate. Talking about Solskjaer, right? I feel he's not the right man for the job, and what Chris said is absolutely right. You can't be going for a manager who Ollie's actually finished ahead of Brendan Rodgers. They wanted someone like an Antonio Conte. And I feel United need to go for someone like Ten Hag. So someone, yes, he might not know the Premier League that well at the moment, but he's young, he's better. So I think United need to go for someone like that, because Solskjaer at the moment, don't get me wrong, I hope he does sign a new 5-year contract.
Luca, can you get close to the microphone? Because you're very quiet.
Can you not hear me?
You're very quiet.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're a mile away from the microphone.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
That's better. Go.
That's good. What I was saying was, well, I'm on the train, so apologies about that. But no, Solskjaer, right? I feel he's not the right man for the job for Manchester United. I feel you can't be bringing in someone like Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers, the reason why he's doing well at Leicester, because he actually suits the style of play at Leicester. So that's why he seems to be doing better over there. You can't. What Chris said is absolutely right. You can't be going from getting
So it tells me that train left the station.
Arteta Wi-Fi is cracking,
Manchester
kicking in again, isn't it?
Why would you want
Yep,
to go to
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah,
to
he's left the train station. That's what he's done.
United?
In a tunnel there, Luca?
Yeah, I am. I'm on a train.
Cool. You there? You with us?
Is this Arteta Wi-Fi settings gonna? Is this Arteta Wi-Fi? Stevens?
Yeah, are you with us? Are you here or not? No, are you
It
here or
is.
not? No, he's died. There you go.
No.
Oh well. There you go.
It's that old Arteta Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'll have to give him a call later.
I think the only thing that Brendan would take to United is he can handle, I think, the big players that Ollie can't. But you want more than that, you know. And like I say, the success that he would bring to a club like Leicester, you know, we 2 fifths and two fifth place finishes and an FA Cup, and we're happy as Larry. You know, Man United win the FA Cup, they sack the manager within a couple of days. Chelsea win the European Cup, they sack whoever it was within a few months. So it is a different, and it's can you imagine the pressure that comes with that job?
Yeah, it's different. It's like you said, it's a different kind of pressure going to Man United. It's like Man United expect you to win things very, very quickly, and if not, it can very turn against you very quickly as well.
Yeah,
Like it's even like with Arsenal is like the difference is that we can all have a laugh at what Man United in a minute, but the reason they're like so bad and they're not settling. It's so much of a crisis being where they are in 8th. If you see, if Arsenal finish 8th, you've got fans that's half the fan base sitting there. It's not a crisis, and it's a process or this whatever. But if it happens to Man United, it's the end of the world. It's frigging Armageddon. Like, and that's the difference. They have that.
Sorry, coming from an Arsenal fan after the last season, I'd find that a little bit funny.
But what I'm saying is like their mentality and wanting to win things is much bigger than like some of our
what we would call the big six mentality. No, I get what you're saying. Like it goes back to what I said. You know, so many of their fans don't remember the pre-Ferguson years. They were brought up on success. And don't get me wrong.
Arsenal now, you get a load of these Arsenal fans. It's been 17 years since we've won a title. So some of these fans that are telling us we have to believe in Arteta, and I should believe in Arteta when I've watched my team win the league. Like, well, I'm sorry, mate. I've grown up on us winning the league, mate. So, like, forgive me if my expectations are high, like, but that's where Arsenal should be. Like,
but do you not think though,
and
in
that's
fairness,
what every team should aspire to be as best they can be.
Yeah, and you've grown up, like you say, on the Arsenal success. But like I say, Liverpool had, before Man United, they were the biggest club in the country. They were probably one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and it hasn't happened for them for 30 years. So when you guys like Man United, Arsenal, etc., do go a couple of seasons, 3-4 seasons, it isn't the end of the world. You know, you still finish, and you've got to remember, there's more teams out there. Because when, you know, back in the day, you didn't have your Chelseas, you didn't have your Man Cities with the money. You've got Newcastle that are going to be pushing very soon. And I'm not including Leicester in this because I don't think we're in that sort of league. Because we're not in that sort of a league. We can't, you know, we can't go out and buy an £80 million player.
Yeah, but like you can easily do it if you
can sell them.
Yeah, you can sell them, and I'm sure you can buy it straight. But the thing is, why do you need to go out and buy an £80 million player? This is what I've said before. It's like everyone says, "Oh, we got to go massive signings." That's great. Yeah, that's brilliant. Let's go get massive signings. Actually, sometimes our best signings have been ones like Martinelli, £8 million. Like, for example, you could buy. I mean, Partey, for example, didn't even cost that much. It cost about 40 million. Like,
I
that's
think-
not massive money, and that's money that Leicester can spend. And what I've noticed with
Yeah.
Leicester, their scouting team is very good at picking up players that have got the talent to go on and do something at Leicester, and then you can sell them on to the big clubs that haven't spotted them yet for about 70, 80 or million, and that's a self-sustaining model. You've got
It
that
is.
structure in place, and the problem with
It-
Arsenal, we've got a board that actually doesn't know how to run that if they ever live to see it. They ain't got a clue how to do it. So,
But I think we thought you can have a look at Leicester and go, yeah, I totally agree 100% with what you're saying. Fafana's been linked with Chelsea recently.
Fofana is
He's going
brilliant, mate.
to cost the same probably as Maguire. What annoys us is the fact, and we know it is the way things are, that there's a hierarchy. Is that old picture, you know, the bird on row 1 shits on bird on row 2, shits on bird on row 3. It goes down. You know, and we can go to the likes of a Hull, a West Brom, somebody like that. Yeah. It's whiskey and coke, mate. Whiskey and coke. But
No, it's Coke.
I know. But you know,
Really?
thing is, will we ever get the chance? Yes, we're making a lot of money, but we're never going to have a settled team because every time we go out and get this player, we develop them and then they move on. At what point can we keep all these developed players together and then have a really good push? And when we have a good season, that's when the bigger boys come sniffing around and take our players. And that it does show up the Man Uniteds, the Chelseas, that they haven't got a very good scouting system themselves, and they'd sooner buy the big names and don't want to take a risk, etc., etc. But there, I say, there is that hierarchy, and I don't think Leicester. We haven't got the money. Like I say, you do need the money to compete these days. When we won the Premier League, you could say that, you know, the bigger clubs lost it as much as we won it. But yeah, we could be top 6, but you know, whether we'll ever challenge for the title again, who knows?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is like, I'm not sure about Leicester challenging for a title, but I think you'll be very self-sustained where you are, because
I'd like to think, unless something goes really, really, really tits up, that we're going to be an established Premier League club for the, you know, long term now. And if we can do that, then, you know, keep the owners are great. We want to keep the owners. If we can keep Brendan, but I don't think we will, but if we can keep Brendan for a while, he will do good. And it all depends, like I say, because players want to better themselves. Of course they do. You know, Fofana will be looking at Chelsea's. They are going to win more than Leicester. They are going to win Champions Leagues, etc. That's why Kanté went there. You know, it's life. It's life, as you know. You follow the club that you follow, and you know,
it's like
Newcastle
life,
fans.
right? It goes up and down. It goes up and down in periods, doesn't it? Like, you know,
it does. Like I say, Arsenal, you're coming back this season, and I did say you would do. You know, it's early days yet. You could end up 10th again, and Man United could end up 2nd. It is a funny season this season. You know, I would never have said that you would have beaten us 2-0 as easily as you did, but then I would never have said that we would have beat Man United as easy as we did.
To be honest, there's that, and this is what I was saying, is that it's all well and good at looking at the results and the way it looked like it, but if you looked at the game, and I think Brad mentioned it when he was doing a review with us, is that it's all well and good that we did well in that first 45 minutes or 30 minutes, however you want to call it, and getting those 2 goals. But then if you watch the rest of the game, Leicester should quite rightly been back in with an equaliser at some point during the game. So if you level it out, so like,
but you can't, when you go 2-0 down, and we're doing this all season, you know, we can't keep giving teams the start, you know, because you're you know, Ramsdale had a worldie that game, you know, he was.
I mean, the guy's been incredible, and that's why he's been called up to the England squad.
Yeah, but you did what you had to do, you know, you were ahead. You didn't need to do anything stupid. you defended, and overall the game you deserve the points. But that's Leicester this season. We do like to give teams a lead.
Yes, but I mean, I still think that's something that Brendan Rodgers can sort out anyway. So
we moan as fans, of course we do.
it's more than what Ollie's going to sort out. Let's just be honest.
It is. It's different expectations. Like I say,
Yeah.
if Ollie was at Leicester and he'd got us fourth, runners up in the Europa League and second for the last couple of seasons.
But do you feel it'd be like some sort of a poison chalice for someone if it can be if they're not careful?
Of course. I mean, look how many years Liverpool tried to get the glory years back. How many managers they went through? Dalglish and Souness. It just didn't happen. It has happened now with Klopp. They had an amazing season where they literally won everything that they could win. But it took them a long time to get that. And when you've had the success that a manager like Wenger had with you, or Ferguson had with Man United, it is hard then to accept the tough times.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, of course. It's just like when you see the hard times and you see people like saying, the problem is that when you see the hard times is that no matter like you see throughout a bad period you're going through, yes, we're going through a bad period at the minute as a club, right? But that doesn't mean I should get absolutely mad because we've gone and beaten Watford 1-0 to make it 10 games unbeaten when we've only beaten Norwich 1-0, Burnley 1-0, and our man of the match has usually been the goalkeeper. So
at least you beat Burnley, mate.
Well, yeah, I know, but I should be still looking at those clubs, looking at those teams, and not sounding arrogant, but it's teams that Arsenal should be expecting to win. So,
and I tell you why, I totally understand that, and that's how I feel a bit.
To get back to the club, so you can start pushing the club to make the changes that it's needed to go and do that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there's no pressure within the fan base for Arsenal to go and do what they want to do. So they're quite happy to go. If they might give it all the sweet talk and get into top four, which is great. But then our fans will happy and accept top four because they think it's a prize now because of what like Wenger said with his top four as a trophy thing. They think it's a trophy, right, sitting there in fourth spot, and then what's the point? They get 100 million for qualifying the Champions League. What's the point in spending over 100 million to go and try and win it?
I mean,
100 million in your pocket, sell it to the Rams.
2 points on that. I mean, I think you've got. I do know totally what you mean about expectations, and mine and other Leicester fans' expectations, because we've had a bit of success, our expectations have gone up. And this season, for us, sat in 12th, 13th, wherever we are at the moment, is disappointing. We're looking at thinking, what the hell? This time last season, we were fourth. This time last season, we were beating Burnley. We'd have been stuffing Norwich. Now we're struggling to beat them. But it's because that bar's been raised. And I don't think Wenger was ever backed. I mean, I know they had this great, thing about the a wage cap and what have you, and they weren't going to sort of go over it, and they're always going to be profitable.
So much that, it's all the stadium as well. Yeah, on top of
that. Yeah, it is. But
then the owner could have stepped in and helped keep some of our best players, but they didn't.
What you got to think as well, though, is that what you're saying, we could get you on as an Arsenal fan, say Maisie on as a Man United fan, Ankit on as a Chelsea fan, and Ray on as, or Charlie on as a Man City fan. Literally, you'd all be singing from the same song sheet, and you'd all be saying the same thing, but only one of you can actually win the thing. And that's, I'm a great believer in that, teams have their period of when they are dominant, and you had those few years. I mean, the fact when you went that year and you didn't lose a game all season, that was amazing. That's history. You're the first team to ever do that. And I don't think it'll ever be done. Ever be done again.
Well, I think he was the second, to be honest.
Was it?
Second
Oh, I think it was the first in
Preston
modern
North End.
times.
I think Preston North End did it.
Well.
But that was back in like the 1900. That was
But
before
that
the
still
actual
makes
turn
him a
of
big club,
19
of course.
That
That still
was
makes Preston a big club.
That was, I think, before the turn of the 20th century. So
Yes, yeah. Well, how far back do you go? But no, in modern times, you know what I
yeah,
mean.
in the modern day
It's
football, that's just
yes.
and especially the Premier League now.
It was amazing.
And now the competition's so amazing. The competition now in the Premier League is so massive. You wouldn't get that these days. It'd be a miracle if you managed to do that.
But occasionally you do get, and
Well,
I had this conversation.
But like but this is the thing. When Liverpool lost at West Ham, I'm not then going to Liverpool and said, "Oh, look at you! You ain't gonna beat our record." Then I'm not worried about our record. That happened. It's great. It happened 17 years ago, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go celebrate. I did something that we did 17 years ago. I'd rather celebrate that was something we did now. Like,
yes, no. I get that. I do get that. I mean, I'm just looking here. Since Ollie has been manager at Manchester United, the last 3 seasons they finished 6th, 3rd, and 2nd. Now, I would say that you go outside. Would you have taken? Well, let me ask you: would you have taken that over the last 3 seasons? 6th, 3rd, and 2nd, and a European final.
Yeah,
exactly. So, you know, this sometimes, and the 6th this season, obviously, but it's only a third of the way. Not even that yet.
I could also see the system he wants to play, the plan B, the style of play. Basically,
do you not think a lot of fans are saying that
on
though?
The pitch, though. No,
do you not think a lot of fans are saying that?
Because
Leicester
then
fans say that.
Yeah, but if you see Liverpool and West Ham, Man City, if you're going to take these teams on in a title challenge, you're going to have to find that. You're going to have to find that because they have that. Like those teams have that. They have their way of beating people. They have their way of playing their football, right? And that's the only way you're going to be able to beat them. And you're going to have to sort that your own way to try and win it.
Are you happy with the 1-0 win though? I mean, you know, remember West Ham have always had this. They're starting to change now, but we've got to play the West Ham way. Yeah, but the West Ham way has not won you anything since 1960, 70, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, would you sooner win a game 1-0 or draw a game 4-4? And let's face it, when Leicester won the Premier League, we were called boring because we won games 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 towards the end of the season. Who cares? I don't give a shit. We won the Premier League.
It's like people are saying we got like 12 draws in that unbeaten record. It's an unbeaten record, mate, and we won the league, so who cares?
Yeah. The other thing I think as well, what we worry about as fans of the not Big Six clubs, if you like, is that it's getting a little bit like Scotland. You know, I was talking to West Ham fans the other day. I'd love them to go on and win it this season. I'd sound a bit like Kevin Keegan. I'd love it. I love it.
I fucking love it with you, then. I love it.
But it's nice to see these teams like Leicester go and smash the ceiling, you know. And, you know, Scott, I mean, this was something I did on my show on Tuesday night with the ex-player. You know, I was saying, like, what is the point of Scottish football? When, you know, every season you start that season and think, as a Hearts fan or a Hibs fan or a Dundee fan, we're not going to win anything. You know, 1978, I think it was Fergie when he was at Aberdeen, that a non-Glasgow team won the league. I mean, it's just boring. I'm sorry, you know, and we've got to be careful that it doesn't become like that. And that's why when you've got when Arsenal struggled last season, Man United, you could say, struggling this season. That's why the majority of fans are sat there going, "Hey, this is fun," you know, because it's good to see you lot struggle sometimes, you know, and the West Hams or the Leicesters or the Villas, whoever it is, come through.
Will we see Christmas soon on your
Well,
coming
Christmas.
on your coming streams.
A Christmas what, Anthony?
Probably a Christmas stream, a Christmas do or something. I don't know.
Christmas hat. There's a Christmas hat up there already. Yes, I do
Yeah.
have a blue Christmas hat ready to
I've got
go.
one here. I've got mine Arsenal one here. So
Yes.
I've got one. I won't put it on now. I don't put anything.
Go on, put it on.
I am not doing anything towards Christmas until Boxing Day. They start doing Christmas adverts before my bloody birthday. Right? No, I'm not having that. Right? But it does mean I do get in some of the deals, like early deals.
Yes. Yeah.
It does have its advantages, like being born about the 30th of October.
I agree with you, Rich. There.
Which, it is boring. It is
all
boring.
the leagues have this problem, but obviously we're in the sort of the English and whatever. Ryan said then Leicester City. You wouldn't be surprised if Leicester City beat Chelsea. Mate, I tell you what, I wish I had your confidence. I don't think they will. I've gone for a draw, and that's been optimistic with the way that the seasons are going. But yeah, I'll take it. And yeah, we do well against the top
Anthony.
6, and I think Jamie Vardy scored more goals against the top 6 than any other player ever. But that's because you let us play that way.
That's
you do the big 6. You do play a nice open game, and that plays into his hands. The other ones tend to park the bus, and we struggle.
Because he wants to be that. He plays as that last man. Like if you play him as like trying to play him offside or on offside track, you are playing with fire.
Yeah,
because it takes him one smart move and that's him. He's gone, and that's a one-on-one situation. So like, and that situation, he's lethal. So
definitely.
But
question for Anthony there is there a pair of socks? Is that sort of the warmer socks, the Willy warmer socks, or the proper socks?
No, it's the pair that he keeps getting me for Christmas, but I keep sending them back on a free post delivery. Because I think he needs them more than I do. No, but yeah, I mean, like the season so far, what do you make of it so far? Because that's sort of the other question we've gone into. Like, what have you made it? I mean, obviously, apart from the Leicester point of view, I mean, in a general sort of view, has it gone the way you expected the first 10 games, or
totally not?
Take Leicester out of it, by the way. Let's just
taking Leicester out of it, it's totally not. What this season has proved is that I know nothing about football.
Like a third or fourth, so
I can't predict anything. Although I did predict Chelsea would win it this year. I mean, I thought the top 4 was pretty much nailed on. Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and Man United. I thought that was going to be done and dusted. That could be not the case. Going down here, Brighton, I thought they were going to struggle again. Wolves, I thought they'd struggle with a new manager, and they're 7th and 8th. Palace, I thought they'd struggle with Patrick Vieira, they're 10th. I thought Everton would be doing better than they are, and they're in 11th. Brentford, great start. I thought they'd do the best of those that have come up. Villa, I mean, just nobody is where I thought they would finish. The only ones I've got right are Norwich and Chelsea. And apart from that, no, it's completely weird. And I think it's a season when anybody can go out and beat anybody. I really do. And you've got to think you guys are coming back this season. Spurs have now got Conte in, so we will see them come back. It's going to be tough at the top, but it's I thought we'd get back to a bit of normality after the 2 COVID seasons. I really did. I thought, all right, things will settle down now. We'll get back. Fans are back. But no, I just can't. I'm useless at the prediction league. I just haven't got anything right. And I'm flabbergasted. I say some of the results that come through is just unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what's going on here. So like all of a sudden just had a load of people turn up on Twitch. I don't know why. But yeah. I got Chelsea to win the. I got Chelsea to win the league.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea look like the favourites because tactically they look sound.
Yeah.
And also in depth. That's the thing because I look at City and their lack of number 9 shows in some of the games. I don't think that was the main reason with Palace in that game. I think Palace worked them out and didn't give them a chance to play, but missing a number 9 could be crucial for them. I said that since the start of the season. Liverpool, though,
Yeah.
Liverpool have just since that 5-0 win, that's been like a curse to them because they've now just all of a sudden been like falling apart. So for me, like if Liverpool can pick that up again and not get any key injuries and keep that same, because the problem is they're 11 or 11 and some substitutes, but that's it. There's no depth. There's no more depth to that. So that's why I said Chelsea over Liverpool, and I really didn't really count Liverpool too much because of their squad depth. Right, I was expecting Man United to be up there as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, if you're 3 points below Arsenal after they were bottom of the league with 9 goals conceded, right? And by the way, since those first 3 games, right, we've now played 8 games, and we've now gone from 9 conceded to only 0 goal difference. That's not good.
The process is working, young Stephen.
No, it's not. No, it's not. What process? I've been in a process for 17 goddamn years. Like, there is no process. Right? When are people going to get it through their heads? It's
Have
not
faith, young man. Have faith.
No. I'm not George Michael.
I should hope not. You know.
Yeah, I'm not having faith in it. Trust me. No way.
No, you're not a fan of you're not a fan of gentlemen's public toilets. Yeah, I mean, I know you said you said you weren't a George Michael. That's all I'm saying. You know,
I'm not saying anything.
His well-known song "Come Outside." He shouldn't have been such a bad aim, should he? Anyway,
I don't know whether to clip this later.
Send me a copy. Yeah, I mean, West Ham.
I'll let your channel take the hit.
West Ham are up there, but I mean, again, if Antonio gets injured, you know, they haven't really got anybody to really replace them. It's a totally weird year, and it's great. The fact that it's weird, it's great that you're getting that mix of teams in it, and Brighton, West Ham's, and up there. Don't buy into the Graham Potter arse-licking media though, but they're doing well. Bless them.
Trust me, don't get me started on the media. They're like the things they do to make excuses for what we've got in charge is just unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know how you pronounce that, Regin, whatever it is, but
I have
Leicester City 8th. I'd take that at this stage,
Leicester City 8th, Arsenal 7th. Arsenal above Leicester. Are you sure?
It's
Tottenham.
It's 7th. That's a conference place for you, isn't it?
That was before you into the 3 week. Jotted down 3 match.
Oh, sorry, 3 match weeks into the season.
So after we were bottom of the league, you're thinking we're getting 6th. And they're telling me I need to be I'm trying to be realistic. Come on. Come on. You really don't believe this manager's going to get a 6th? Come on. Really? Trust me, I'd like him to prove me wrong, get me in the Europa League, and then get me in the Champions League next season. Right? He says he can all do it in 3 years. Right? And apparently the project is now Project Youth. So it means we've got to start doing it as from this year. So if you can do it in 3 years, prove it then. Come on. Be a man and stick to your words and prove it. Prove it. The name Yeah, don't worry, man. But like,
No, if you finish, well, you can say you could end up in the Europa Conference.
oh my god, do we have to play on Fridays? Seriously?
No,
I
they
like
play
my Fridays
Thursdays.
off.
They play
So,
Thursdays.
no, they also play Fridays as well, mate.
Do they?
Yeah.
But
They
would
play
you
Fridays
take
as
the?
well.
Would you take at this point in your development
They
now?
got
Would you take the conference?
no, to be honest. I think
Why?
Arsenal could do.
It's Europe.
No,
It's a trophy.
no. Look. As much as it, the only thing that like I would either accept, the reason I would accept Europa League and the or nothing is because if we win the Conference League, right, these Arteta sexuals will go absolutely bonkers thinking we've won the Champions League, like because that's their level, right? Two, and that's a fact because like two, I also would think at the minute with Arsenal, they need a sort of year. They are so bad that they've been so bad for so long. They need a year out of completely Europe to then reset the mindset of proving yourself in the league first, your bread and butter, as they call it. Prove yourself in the league. Going on a run, like and maintain a league season where you can get into the Europa League. Then you can start looking at other European tournaments. You know, so like they needed that. They need a year out. That's what they needed to really reset themselves. Look in the
Which they're
mirror and
having
feel
this.
like what's
They're
going
having
on.
now, aren't they? Really, but
Yeah,
I
this is
just
what
think.
they need. Yeah, to find out what's going on with the club.
So let's say, and let me give you this scenario then. So last game of the season, and it won't happen, I know, because they'll all kick off at the same time. But there's been a match abandoned. You've played, and you're currently sat in 7th place and in a Europa Conference place. Man United, who are 8th, are playing.
Sorry, just
Let's
want to
say,
quickly just
yeah.
want to. Is that the Europa League or the Conference League, mate? Just before I jump in and on that comment and say something that was against it. Gone.
Yeah.
Chris.
So Arsenal finished their season. They're in 7th. Man United are in 8th. They're playing Chelsea late because of another bomb scare or whatever. If Man United beat Chelsea, Man United will finish above you in 7th and get that Europa Conference place. If Chelsea win or draw, you stay 7th and you're in the Europa Conference. You're not going to want. You're going to want, you're not going to want Man United to win so that they get the Europa Conference and you don't. Surely.
No.
So you would take the Europa Conference if you finish in that position.
Not to me, because like for me, like for Arsenal, I feel that I don't think the competition is worth it. To be honest, for me, it just doesn't feel worth it to me. For a club like Arsenal, I feel that they would be better served for our. And those, by the way, look at our squad as well. Our squad's not the biggest. Like, it's not well managed, mate. This is what I'm saying as well. With the manager that we've got, who's so inexperienced, look at Saka for example. After 20 minutes, he's dead. Why is that? He ain't been rested since the first lockdown in 2020. Right? So then this is why everyone's saying ESR is playing so brilliant. Why is ESR playing so much better than Saka? It's because ESR's had a break.
I get that, but would you sooner finish 8th and not have European football for another season, or finish 7th and have the Europa Conference?
I'd rather finish another year out of it. I would.
Really?
I would.
Wow. I mean, I said when Leicester finished 5th.
If you're still finishing 7th and entering that sort of competition, as a club like Arsenal, there's still fundamental issues at the club.
Yeah, but it's a slow process, and I'm not joking when I'm using that word, because you have had a
But
bad
then it's not,
season where you've
because
just
it's
finished
not.
10th, was
But
it?
then
You've got to slowly build back up to
yeah,
it.
but there's also been teams like Chelsea who got Conte in, for example. This is what I'm saying. It comes back down to the manager you got. Like, if you had a decent manager, that team would be in Europa League without fail. Without fail. That team is Europa. That team we've got out there is Europa League minimum.
Well, I tell you, we'll see. We'll come back at the end of the season and see if Conte's got Tottenham into the Europa League. I just think, as much as I would say, I was disappointed that Leicester finished fifth, and I thought Europa was the better competition for us, other than the Champions League, because I think we would do better in the Europa League at this stage. Had we got the Champions League, I would have still been happy. If we'd have finished a place below and got the Europa Conference, or 2 places below, sorry, and got the Europa Conference, I would have still been happy, because it's still Europe and it's progression, And like I say, remember remember how many years Liverpool have taken to get back. Before Abramovich and probably before a few years before that, Chelsea were nowhere to be seen. They've suddenly come into it. These teams have had a long, long time without success, and getting the Europa Conference might be the stepping stone to you getting the Europa League. Once you've got Europe, you may be able to then attract some more players or have the money to bring more players in. I wouldn't rule it out. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I hear that. It's just, for me, is
you're a fan. You want to do well.
Yeah,
I get that, and all banter and winding up aside,
And I also think it's like I was saying with this whole process thing, is like I said, is there's so many examples. And by the way, this is now Project Youth. By the way, a proper project is in the Premier League that's been youth. That the only win that's really banged and worked, as they say, has been Man United's in '92, which was over 30 years ago. So, like, you're sitting there telling me that the Arteta, who's got no managerial experience, is going to do something that no one else has been able to do in 30 years. Like, come on. And for me, it's if you get a half decent manager in, we wouldn't even be talking about getting Conference League or struggling to get into it or having this debate. We'd be debating probably pushing into even pushing can Arsenal actually go even further into the Champions League. So they know they're going to get Europa League. Can they go even further? So, like, for me, Arsenal have that squad that if anyone says that squad there is not capable of getting Europa League, like, they're talking out of their arse. Like,
let me ask you this question, though. Let me ask you this question. Who's been the most successful manager of an English football team in modern history?
Sorry, say that again. I was just reading the comments.
Sorry, who's been the most successful manager of an English football club in modern history?
Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, and I'm just looking here because I had it open earlier for Ollie. He finished 11th in his first season. Then he got a second. Then he got a 12th.
Yeah.
Then he got a 13th. Then he got a 6th. We all know the story that he was very, very close to losing his job, and they scored.
I understand that. That's a long, but this is a long time ago. Like,
but it's still football. It's still the same.
Yeah, I know. But
you can't just say
the games develop. The games develop so much. The globalization of football as well has developed so much as well. Like, back then, you could also have players that, like, they wanted to play for they wanted to prove they can get better, and actually there isn't that probably evil incentive to win. Like, today's football, they get paid so much money. Is there like an incentive for these players? Like Ben White, for example. How is it you've got the number 4 shirt and you know nothing about, like, Vieira? Like, that just shows to me, like, you don't care. and then you say you don't watch the game, but you play it, but you don't watch it. But I'm like, well, that just shows to me you're not prepared to winning. So you're not
But is
for the
he an
will to
Arsenal
win
fan?
a game. No. But for the will to win a game, or for the will to go out and prove that you can improve your game and try and get better, so you can push into a higher position. You're not willing to watch a game of another team, of one of the best right backs or best centre backs in the world playing in that position, to see where you can get improved on. You can't be bothered to watch that.
I totally get your point. If now he's at Arsenal, yes, maybe he should go and watch that. But then the way that
what's the incentive for there to win? He's sitting there basically. He's doing it. He's sitting there for the money, so he can then go. Oh,
but
yeah,
play devil's advocate for you. The way Vieira played isn't necessarily the way Arteta wants his players to play, if you like. And surely it's like if you're learning to drive, right? And your dad's passed his test 20 years ago, and your driving instructor's taking you out, and he's saying, right, you do this, you do this, you do this. In the between driving lessons, you're going out with your dad, and your dad's saying, well, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, because that's the way I did it 20 years ago. And you come back, and the driving instructor says, "What the fuck? Who told you to do that?" Yeah. And and I say, I'm not saying right, wrong here. I'm just saying that's what you've got to think as well. That Arteta as manager, like you said, it's a different game these days.
Yeah, and that's I think it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot harder than doing what Alex Ferguson managed to do all those years ago. It's a lot more. The competition
is a lot harder. Therefore, in a way, it will take longer to.
Yeah, but then how long do you wait? How long are you willing to sit there?
Liverpool.
And by the way, also, by the way, is that the reason Man United could also hang on that long, like he went and proved it with not at Celtic, not with Rangers. He proved it with Aberdeen. He got Aberdeen to win their first European trophy, and actually, instead of using Celtic or Rangers, won the Scottish League itself, with Aberdeen. So if he managed to do that with Aberdeen, then that surely gave him some credit in the bank to try and keep him in the job of Man United.
Can I give you two names?
But the thing is, though, Arteta, what's he got? He had one game, which was a game against Man City that he managed for Man City because Pep's mum died. What happened? He lost that game, and it was against a crap side apparently.
And I agree. Sometimes look. You could look at Frank Lampard, let's say, and Rooney. They're at smaller clubs and they're building up the experience that way. I'll also say two names to you: Jock Wallace and Craig Levein. Jock Wallace used to be manager of Rangers years ago in the 70s. I think I can't remember how many, but he won something like 3, 4, 5 on the trot for Glasgow Rangers. Came down to Leicester, got us to win what was then the second tier, got us in the first tier. We got relegated. Craig Levein won a Scottish Cup, I think it was, with Hearts. Again, stopping the big two, winning it. Came down to Leicester, played some of the most awful football we've seen in years. So, I don't know. Sometimes, we know managers don't get time these days, and I do know where you're coming from. Like I say, I am playing devil's advocate with you, and maybe he might be given more time had he gone to, say, a West Brom or somewhere like that, rather than just stepping straight up as a number 2. Because being a good number 2 does not mean you're going to be a good number 1. And I will quote you Craig Shakespeare on that. Fantastic number 2 with Nigel Pearson. Had an immediate impact when he took over from Claudio Ranieri, but he couldn't keep that up, and he's now number 2 at Norwich. So, I do get what you're saying, but who would you have? I mean, do you think Conte, with the squad that Tottenham have got, that Conte is going to go in there and make those into winners?
Conte.
Because somebody said the other day, if you've got shit on the pitch, it doesn't matter who's got the shovel, it's still
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I know that, but like, it's like Rafa Benitez had all the crap that Steve Bruce had, but he managed to make it work.
No, that's fair dues. Fair dues.
Some managers
you know.
manage to get it work. It's like he has this way with like he managed to get like this. I mean, even at Inter Milan, some of the players, he just has this way with players to be able to know it. You'll be able, your skill set, though you're playing that position, you'll be able to fit in that position. Right, and your skill set, your attributes, though you're like not doing well in your actual position, will put you in a new position. You put you there, like you can magically put people in positions that you think are out of place, but because their attributes suit that for what they're supposed to be doing and what he wants, he manages to get that's Conte for you, and he can. That's why in 2 seasons he could turn into Milan that wasn't really doing anything apart from Europa League, right, into winning the league in 2 years. In 2 years, right, took over Chelsea, got battered by Arsenal 3-0, and he said, "That's it. I'm not playing that way anymore. I'm playing my way. 3 across the back. If you don't like it, get lost." And then what do? They went on a massive run and won the league. Right? And people say that's Chelsea. What did they spend in that season? We spent more in this season and in last season as well, right? Than they did in that season. They hardly spent a penny in that season, and they finished 10th. So why should I have to sit and wait 3-4 years to try and get into a Champions League when I could get a manager that was quite easily available, but we've let him go to our darkest, horriblest enemy, right? I know.
Would Conte have been your choice?
I would have taken Conte all day long. I would have taken him all day long. Why we're not hijacking that deal, I don't know. Like, it's beyond me.
Who would you? I mean, would you take Solskjaer? I mean, if Solskjaer left Man United,
No.
would you take Solskjaer?
No.
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 Who?
No.
Who?
No.
I'm presuming you wouldn't take Brendan now. So who would?
I'll take
who would
Brendan.
you?
I'll still take Brendan.
Really? What? I mean, but he's not been all right. He's won an FA Cup, fair enough, but
then he's not. He's not into the Champions League, is he?
No, he's failed at Europe at Celtic. He's kind of failed at Europe with us. He's finished below Ollie, like we say, for 2 seasons.
Yes, like that's like another last resort. For me, I would say this is where I say, like, if you're gonna redo a youth project, give a youth manager a chance. Give like a Graham Potter a try. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Graham Potter would do well with our side. Like, I keep saying it. I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face. Like, you give that guy an attacking lineup that we've got, that guy will end up scoring goals for you, left, right, and centre.
I'm not.
The stats
I'm well done, Brighton, with what they've done this season, but I just don't get all this hype around Graham Potter. He hasn't won anything yet.
Well, it's not. It is, but you've got to bear in mind he is playing with a Brighton side.
All right, he hasn't done well with a Brighton side. He hasn't done well with any team yet that he's had. You know, he's Brendan. You could say, let's say he's finished 5th 2 seasons running. He hasn't done that. You know, what has he done to prove that he's any good?
If you look at the performances in each game, look at like not. I wouldn't say to possession wise. So sometimes possessions against them, like, but the chances they create with their possession, they might not have all the possession in the game, but the chances they create all the time, they're creating so many chances per game that at some point the ball is going to hit the back of the net. right? So
They've not
that's
won in
why I'm saying
5
this
though.
is. No, but when Morpay started firing at the start of the season, look where they were. They were in the top 4, right, at the start of the season.
You've scored
Because,
more goals than they have.
like, but this is the thing. We should be scoring more goals than they have because we're supposed to have a better. This is the thing. Everyone looks at our squad, and when we go like, well, if you're saying that uh our strike force is not good enough to be better than Brighton's and get more goals than Brighton, right? Would you take any guy out of Brighton's attacking side? And I'll go, no.
Mm.
So why aren't we scoring more goals than them then? So there you go. So this is what I'm saying.
Fair point.
You give them a top striker like Lacazette or like Aubameyang, like, mate, that Aubameyang
Sanchez.
will be. Well, yeah, Sanchez at his day at Arsenal was sick. So, like, he would have scored. They would have scored bags of goals. Bags of goals. So, but there you go. We won't see it. We won't.
So
see
where
it.
do you think you will end up? I mean, I say we're only a third, not even a third of the way through the season yet. But where what hopes have you
I
got
said
for
8th.
Arsenal this
I
season?
said, I said below 10th, didn't I? I'll give him benefit of doubt. I'll go 8th.
Yeah, as I say, you have come back, and like I say, I don't. You're a fan. You know what you feel about your manager. I don't.
8th
I
to
don't follow
12th,
Arsenal.
somewhere around there. Like, if it's below 8th, if it's below 7th, I don't give a toss.
Yeah. I'd love. Again, I'm going to do my Kevin Keegan here, but I would love it if you finished 7th and got the Europa Conference. I will come to London and buy you a pint.
No. You'd have to come.
I know you can't
first.
actually, so it's a bit.
No, I can have a pint. I can have up to a pint every now and then.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I'll stop the plane for them going to the fucking game, so they have to forfeit. Like, I won't be watching that shit.
I'm gonna have to set a note in your diary.
No, fight. No, if you're gonna see me on a European Conference League stream doing a watch like this. Welcome to SFeatleyTV and welcome to our watch along for the European Conference. No, I'm gonna count it like we're not even bloody there. Like, no, like if we're not winning it, I do not care. I don't care. No, I didn't see it. Did you?
I'm going to clip that bit now. I'm going to clip that bit.
Yeah, with that, we are wrapping this up. Like, and on that bombshell. It's been great to have you on.
It's been nice to be back on. Thanks for having me on. And you're fifth. Enjoy it, mate. You're fifth.
Yeah, I'll enjoy it for now. Where can we find you?
At Leicester TID, as you can see on Twitter. I've got a new TikTok account, LTID TV. It's all letters, but LTID TV. Bit of fun. Just you'll find little clips of Stephen on there, maybe. So he doesn't want to finish 7th. You can find Greg's North Macedonia chant on there as well. And Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. But be sure to give this channel a subscribe and a like and give it all the support. It's a good channel. It does a lot of good charity work. So be sure to support it, guys.
Yes, thank you. Like I said, make sure to also hit the join button below and join the membership from as little as $1.99, and I'll get lost with you. Like, honestly, leave it out. Make sure to become a member for as little as $1.99 a month. $4.99 for level 2, $8.99 for level 3, and it all donates to Children's Liver Disease Foundation. So make sure you go and do that now. But until then, we are back later on this evening. I'm on an F1 show at 8, and then I'm doing my own F1 show at 9:30. Like, because as you can tell by the hashtag, like, I'm already pissed off about that. And apparently delaying the decision over the review of it. they're delaying it. So basically, they've got no balls. So there we are. It's fixed. There you go.
They need VAR, don't they? That's what they need.
They've got VAR. How much more
No,
angles do you bloody need? Like,
I did say that with a hint of sarcasm.
Steering wheel. Like, honestly, like, we'll save that for 9:30. But there you go. Make sure
I'm off onto Nippon's channel to do a Chelsea Leicester preview, so that should be interesting.
That'll be fun. Like,
yeah, that's the word. That's
yeah,
the word.
Make sure you do check us out. But until check also Leicester Side out as well. But until then, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Take care, bud.